Hey everyone, Christy here with Transcendent Living, and today I want to spend a little bit of time talking to you guys about crystals. I'm going to show you, I think, 10 or 11 different sort of common crystals, and I've thrown a couple in here that maybe aren't so common, but they're ones that I really like to use, not only with my clients, but for myself as well. So I generally use healing crystals in my sessions, specifically when I'm doing Reiki, just because they do tend to add a little boost, I guess you could say. Um, Specifically, as I'm working through the chakras during a session, each crystal will sort of coincide with a specific chakra and just kind of send some extra energy and healing to that area. That being said, you don't need to come for a Reiki session in order to receive the benefits of crystals. So you can go ahead and you can pick some crystals up for yourself and work with them on your own at home. So because this is new to many people, I thought I would just do sort of a basic video just to introducing, like I said, some of the more basic crystals, some of the more typical ones that you maybe have already heard of, that you're just curious maybe how to work with them, what they're good for, and that kind of thing. So I'm not going to chatter on too much as an introduction. Let's just jump right in. I do have some notes here just because I don't want to forget anything, because I tend to do that if I don't write things down. So the first crystal we're going to start with is selenite. And this is one of my personal favorites that I love working with. So this is what it looks like. I might be a little bit blurry there. Not sure how to get it to focus better, but that's the selenite piece. So selenite is good for clarity of the mind. It opens the crown chakra and the higher chakras. So within the main 7 chakras, we don't really get into any of the higher chakras. The crown is the highest one that we do work with. This stone is very calming and it instills peace. So like I said, it's one of my favorite ones to work with. And specifically, I find myself just kind of holding on to it. And even during sessions, I have a tiny little piece, probably about this big. That's just a little, I don't know if you would call it a wand, that I just find myself holding on to as I am chatting with the client, even as I'm doing their session. It's a good stone to use during meditation as well, and it can cleanse other stones. So that's one of my favorite things about it as well. So what I actually have here, I'm going to show you guys a couple of my bigger pieces as well. So because selenite is able to cleanse other stones, and the cleansing is something I'm going to do in another video. I will explain why you need to cleanse your stones and how to cleanse them, but just kind of setting that aside for now. Because selenite can cleanse other stones, what I did was I went and I picked up a big selenite plate, it's called. So I can fit probably 15 or 20 of the smaller crystals on this at the same time. So that's really nice because after I have finished up a session with a client, the crystals that I have used during their session, I can just go ahead and lay them on top of the selenite plate and it will cleanse the crystals for me, and I don't even have to think about it. Another of my favorite selenite pieces I have is a large selenite wand. And this, I honestly, even holding it right now and like holding it up against my body and my heart, just makes me feel so calm. It's just a crystal. It's a stone that I personally really resonate with. Not everyone might feel the same as me because everyone's different. So that is number one. Not number one. These aren't in any particular order, but just on my list, on my notes that I made, it's number one. So number 2, clear crystal quartz. So just simple, clear crystal. This is probably one of the most common ones. This is one that you have maybe heard of or maybe have even worked with. So this is a really good all-around healing stone. So this absorbs, stores, releases, and regulates energy. It unblocks energy. It cleanses and enhances your organs. It acts as a deep soul cleanser. So this is another one that I really resonate with. If I'm just feeling out of sorts or like something's wrong and I can't quite figure it out, I'll grab one of these. And even as I'm, watching TV or bustling around the house or even going outside and doing something, I'll stick one in my pocket. Sometimes I hold them in my bra just because there are some that I do like to have closer to my heart. So this stone also enhances psychic abilities. It aids in concentration and it unlocks memory. It is a master healer. So like I said, it's a really good all-over stone. And it can be used for any condition. So physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So that is our second stone. Our third one, which is another one of my favorites, is amethyst. So amethyst is generally a really nice purple color. I do have a few different just tumbled pieces that can be different shades. So that's where crystals can be tricky is if you don't know what it is. Some of them are close to the same color, so it can be hard to figure out what's what. So amethyst is another good overall healing crystal. So it's good for healing and cleansing. It can help you overcome addictions and blockages. It's very calming, or it can be stimulating. So according to what you need at that time, it can calm you or it can stimulate you and kind of get things going. It can help with insomnia and emotional centering. It can also help with sadness and grief. And as for the kind of physical things that it can help with, headaches, bruising, injuries, swelling, and the list goes on. So what I'm going over here are just some very basic things to get you guys started. Of course, each crystal has much more in-depth information than I'm sharing here. I'm just, like I said, kind of trying to give you the basics just to give you sort of a starting point if you are interested in working with crystals on your own. So the next stone I have is citrine. And I don't know if you can see, but it is yellow. This one is actually kind of clear or white and yellow, so it might be a little bit tough to see. But this is also one of my favorite stones to work with. So this stone, citrine, carries the power of the sun, so it's very powerful. It's energizing and creative. It can help bring abundance into your life. So this is a stone that I work with a lot when I am manifesting or visualizing or trying to attract that abundance and prosperity into my life. And like I wrote down here, so it can help with the manifesting and the attracting wealth and prosperity. It's a very happy stone. It brings about a lot of joy. It can help you with your self-esteem and your confidence. It can help you overcome depression and fears or phobias. It can help you stimulate digestion, spleen, pancreas, and many other things. I will show you another example of citrine. I do have a larger, kind of a more raw piece. So that's what it can look like as well, in more of its raw form rather than the smaller tumbled stone. And I just love this piece. Even just looking at it just makes me so happy. So that's our number 4, citrine. Okay, number 5 is malachite. And I want to just share a little bit of a personal experience with this stone. It's really intriguing, this stone, because it's extremely powerful. It can be toxic, like in its raw form. But about a year ago, maybe not even a year ago, I had been looking for even one piece of malachite. I had kept seeing it pop up on like my Instagram feed and stuff. I follow quite a few different crystal accounts and people who make jewelry out of stones like this, and malachite kept popping up. And I kind of said to myself, okay, I mean, obviously this is coming up for me. I love the pattern. I think you can see there how it's kind of striped. I love the pattern. I love the color of it. Everything about it just resonated with me, and it still does. But at that time, it was just really calling to me. And so I ended up going up to the gem show in Regina, and I picked up a couple pieces. So I was really happy about that. So, like I said, malachite is a very powerful stone, so you should always handle it with caution, especially when it's more in its raw form. It can amplify both positive and negative energy. So it can be a very emotional stone. It can bring about a lot of things that maybe you don't really want to deal with or that you've kind of been avoiding. So it can bring up some more of those maybe painful memories and stuff that are kind of difficult to work through. So this is an awesome protection stone. It can absorb negative energies and pollutants easily. It can also protect against radiation. And I just want to take a pause here. I mostly every day I have a bracelet that's made of malachite, and I wear it a lot, especially when I am going out in public. If I know I'm going to be around other people, I wear my malachite because it is that protecting stone. So as an empath, when I go out in public, I can pick up on a lot of other people's stuff. So not only their emotional, and mental energies can kind of come into my space, but their physical stuff that they might be dealing with as well. So physical pain. And I don't really need to be taking on everyone else's stuff. So I like to wear my malachite so that I know that I'm protected. And it's amazing how well it does work. So this is a stone of transformation. It encourages risk-taking and change. It can help you get to the core of problems. It releases negative experiences and old trauma. So that's kind of where you maybe do want to be careful, because it might bring up some of those negative experiences and stuff, and then all of this stuff has bubbled to the surface and you maybe don't know what to do with it or how to move on from it. As for the physical body, it can relieve cramps, blood pressure, asthma, and the list goes on. Okay, so that's number 5. Number 6 is rose quartz, another one of my favorites. You can't really see that it's pink, but it is pink. And this one I think this is called a seer stone. It's not a tumbled stone. I do have some tumbled ones, so I don't know if you can see on there. It looks a little bit more raw rather than the sort of polished stones that I've been showing you. So this is one of my favorite heart stones. This is one that I will carry in my bra a lot, especially if I feel like I need some extra love. This is the stone of unconditional love and infinite peace. It purifies and opens the heart. It helps with inner healing and self-love. It enhances positive affirmations, so it's really good to use, when you are working with affirmations. It can soothe internalized pain, and for the physical body, it can help the heart and the circulatory system. So that's rose quartz. That's another fairly common one that you have maybe probably heard of. All right, so because I don't want to keep you guys here forever, I'm kind of going through these fairly quickly because I don't want you to have to sit here for an hour and listen to me. So the next one, number 7, is hematite. So you can see this stone kind of looks a little bit different than the other ones, and this is what my other bracelet is made of. This one is hematite. So these are the two that I wear the most, especially when I am going out in public. So this is a really powerful stone for grounding and protecting. It can harmonize the mind, body, and spirit. It dissolves negativity. It enhances willpower. It can help you overcome compulsions and addictions. So something like, smoking, drinking, things like that you're kind of trying to move past. Hematite can help with that. It can stimulate concentration and focus. So this is one that my son is actually kind of naturally drawn to. There's been a few different times we've been in Soul Hideout and he just keeps wanting to choose this stone over and over. So it really resonates with him. He doesn't know on the conscious level why he's drawn to that stone, but he needs that concentration and that focus. He needs that grounding. So that's why that stone keeps popping up for him. So the next one we have is smoky quartz. So you can see, well, I'm not sure if you can see, it is a darker stone, but it is transparent. You can see through it. So hopefully you can sort of see there. I know it's tough to see on video. So this is another stone that's really good for grounding. This is another one that is really good for my son to carry, like in his pocket at school and stuff, so that his emotions aren't getting away from him. He's not reacting before he's thinking. This can raise your vibration during meditation. It can help with stress. It can assist elimination and detoxification. It can help with depression again and suicidal tendencies. It gently dissolves negative emotions and it supports positive thought. So, smoky quartz, to me, when I look at this stone or even when I pick it up or hold it, it does look and feel like a very strong and grounding stone. But it also, like I said, I get that feeling of gentleness and that it just really transmutes those negative emotions into something more positive. So that was our smoky quartz. Next we have howlite. And this maybe isn't one that's quite so common, but it is one of my favorites. I wish I could show you up closer without it being blurry. I don't think I can though. So howlite, like I said, one of my favorite stones. It's a very, very calming stone. I have a mala that is completely made of howlite. And when I do a mala meditation, when I meditate with that, it is just the biggest feeling of calm and peace that washes over me. I feel so good after working with this stone. This stone can also help you access past lives. It teaches patience and it can help you with sleep and meditation, like I said. So it just really brings that calmness. So the next one we're going to talk about is carnelian. So this is an orange stone, kind of a darker orange, and you can sort of see it's got sort of like some darker lines in it. So this stone grounds you and anchors you to present reality. It's a very high energy stone. So as you look at it and as you feel it, it really kind of, for me personally anyway, just kind of gets my juices going, gets my energy up. It stimulates creativity. It helps you overcome abuse of any kind. It helps you to trust yourself. It helps you overcome negative conditioning, and it stimulates the metabolism. And that's just one of the physical things that it can help with. And I am going to show you this is another one of my bigger pieces that I have. My son bought this carnelian piece for me last year for Christmas. And it's just, I wish you could see it better on the video. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Like, just look at that. The sun is kind of shining on it, unfortunately. I'll try to shade it. I don't think that'll work, but so yeah, you can just see the different patterns and everything in it, and it's a little bit of a geode. So you can see it has kind of the sparkly on the inside there. So yeah, that's another one of my favorite pieces. I just love it. And I just love the weight of it too, of holding this bigger piece in my hands. So the last one that I want to show you guys is lapis lazuli, another one of my favorites. I feel like I'm just showing you all my favorites, but I'm trying to show you the ones that are more common. So this stone opens the third eye. So for me, when I am meditating or when I am receiving a Reiki session, I really love having the lapis lazuli on my third eye, which is right between your eyebrows, so the third eye chakra. And even as I am holding it there now, it's like my third eye just explodes open. It's amazing. So this stone can also stimulate enlightenment. It quickly releases stress. It can harmonize the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies. It reveals inner truth. It aids in expressing feelings and emotions. So that's something that I struggle with. So it can be used on the throat chakra as well to enhance that communication. It can also help with migraines, depression, and thyroid. So those are the 11 stones, which is a random number. Actually, no, it's not. 11 is quite a divine number. I was going to do 10, so it's funny that I ended up adding the lapis lazuli at the end to make it 11. So those are not only a few of the most common stones that you guys might have seen already, but they're a couple of my favorites that I really like using as well. So if you guys have any questions or anything, please don't hesitate to post in the comments, or you can private message me. You can email me at transcendentliving101@gmail.com. I am so here to answer any questions that you guys might have. I am going to be doing a sort of a part 2 to this video where I am going to talk about why you need to cleanse your crystals and how to do that so that you guys really know how to work with them properly. So that's something that I didn't know a lot about when I first started working with crystals. So I think it's important for me to pass on what I have learned to anyone who might be just starting out working with crystals. If you guys want any specific guidance on maybe what types of crystals you should be starting out with, if there's maybe any issues or anything that you're trying to work through and you need to know what crystals might benefit you, just even to carry in your pocket throughout the day, or different things like that, by all means, please message me, please get a hold of me, because I love when you guys reach out to me, okay? So I hope you guys learned something today. Thank you so much for watching. I really enjoy doing these videos. I got out of the habit of doing them for quite a while, and I'm trying to get back into them. So also, if there are any topics that you might want to see in the future from me, please post below. If there's anything you're curious about that I do, that you want some more details on, then let me know. Okay? Mwah, mwah, mwah. Love you guys. See you later.